Welcome to In Your Element, the podcast that unlocks practical wisdom in higher education, where leadership meets real talk. I'm Brendan Hinkle, Manager of Solutions Engineering here at Element 451.
And I'm Daniela Norden, Element 451's Director of Customer Success and Engagement. Join us every other Thursday for discussions with everyday heroes using Element 451 in enrollment, marketing, and student success. We'll unlock the practical tips to help you make waves on your campus.
In Your Element is a part of the Enrollify Network, a robust collection of podcasts designed to help higher education professionals like you grow. Explore our other shows at enrollify.org or check out some of my personal favorites linked in the show notes below.
Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the leading AI-powered all-in-one student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful, personalized, and engaging interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com. All right, everybody. Welcome back to In Your Element, and a very special welcome to our guest today, Orna from Guilford Tech. Welcome, Orna. It's a busy day in your office. Tell everybody what's going on across the hall.
We're building an esports arena, so that's super exciting. I think our Call of Duty team actually won the national championship last year. So, yeah.
So rightly so, you need an arena now to bring people to you so you can kick their butts there.
Exactly. And it will be a learning space for our entertainment technology people. So they'll be learning how to live stream and broadcast.
Oh, multi-purpose.
It is going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Orna, thank you for joining us today, especially on a day when you are doing construction for super cool things, or at least watching the construction for super cool things. Tell everybody your role at Guilford Tech, because this is super interesting, how you came to be in your element. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that?
Full circle.
I am in my element.
I like
this
that.
Is totally in my element, actually. I actually started at the college when I was a student here. So 9 years ago, and I started as an English tutor, which is really kind of not where I am at all now. And I moved up to work for TightLink, which is kind of our social service arm of the college. And we meet all of the non-academic needs of students, like food insecurity and housing insecurity and those sorts of things. We help students resolve those problems. And I worked there as their data person. And then this position became open, and I have an IT degree and I have a business degree. So I moved on over to this, and now I am the customer relationship management specialist here at the college. I do all the things Element. If it's Element, it's me.
That's amazing. And you've been in this role for a little over a year, right?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
I was actually at last year's Engage Summit, I was transferring and transitioning into this role.
Oh, nice. That's the perfect transition point, coming to Engage. I mean, just curious, what was your experience there at Engage, kind of moving into that role?
Almost an information overload.
Yeah. Drinking from a fire hydrant almost.
Yeah, I had almost nothing. I had a little bit of access to the software before I came into the role, but just kind of learning all the things that were possible, and then being able to come back and show everybody like, hey, look what we can do.
It's almost like the ultimate product demo, like a full conference of the possibility, right? And it is a lot. So kind of like drinking from a fire hydrant, but it's almost like this full immersion into what you can come to expect. So that's pretty cool.
But as someone coming into the role, it was perfect.
Oh, we love hearing that. So we love it. And this is such a nice setup because you were like, look what we can do. You're now a year from Engage. You're a year in that role. You and I have been talking about some of the things that you can do in Element 451. Tell me about, it's all about communication for Guilford Tech right now, isn't it?
For us right now, it is all about communication, and we're using it a lot for retention. We're using it as an admissions and recruiting piece, but we're using a lot of it for retention, just because community colleges face a lot of unique challenges that four-year universities don't have. We have a lot of students that are not academically prepared to come to college. We have a lot of students who are facing life circumstances. They're working, they have families, they have childcare issues. We have a lot of students who maybe don't belong anywhere else, so they're coming to college to get that sense of belonging. We also have a lot of students who are coming from high school who are looking to transfer. And especially here at GTCC, for any of our students who've been out of high school for about 5 years, they can come here almost for free
Wow.
with
Wow,
the
that's
scholarships that
awesome.
we offer. So this is like the perfect thing to kind of bring students in, and we get them here and we can show them all the things that we have to offer, and then we can help them transfer to a 4-year university. And of course, we're also using it for data collection and analysis. I think some of the key things that we've used it for are like the personalized communications, because nothing's better than getting an email like on the first day of class that says, "Welcome, Brennan, welcome, Daniela. It's so nice to have you here as a Titan. And here's all the things that we have to offer." We can use it to kind of do like the holistic support services. We can send an email at the beginning of the semester that lets them know, hey, we have free counseling if you need that. You have access to our disability access services if you need accommodations. If you have food insecurity or housing insecurity, you can come over here and get some financial help, or even just kind of point you in the right direction. We have like our emergency fund application in Element. So we can just give them that link, takes them right to Element, everything's stored right in there. Our Titan link gets a notification that they've got a new application. They can just go in and take a look. Everything's uploaded in there. It's great.
That's awesome. I love all of these examples. I don't even know where to start. I've got questions for each one.
I
Sure.
know. I feel like we should probably. So listen, something that we hear all the time is we'll showcase what Element can do. And a lot of people bring in their admissions people, their recruitment people, and then they see this tool and the things start connecting and they're like, wait a minute, can we use this for retention? And I think that that's such a box that, especially in the community college space, that's not only something that's nice to have, it's a need to have at this point. And I think I would love to dig in a little bit more on the special use cases you have with retention specifically that you all are kind of going through right now.
Yeah, let's talk about, Orna, you mentioned when we had talked, your retention rates are in the double digits, correct? Yes. What strategies or campaigns maybe have been effective in helping you guys get there?
So I think our BoltBot plays a huge role in that. We have, I think, close to 1,000 conversations a month.
Whoa.
With students. And it's not just incoming students. It's students with questions about, hey, what book do I get from the bookstore? Can you help me with that? Hey, I need help with registering for my next semester's classes. Who can I contact? It's not just, I need to take a test with a proctor. How do I get set up with that? And BoltBot can answer a lot of those questions, but we also try to jump in and give that personal touch, so that students know that there is someone here for them. Another thing is we do our welcome email. At the beginning of every semester, we create a new segment that's this semester's students. I'm actually working on that today. They'll get an email, welcome to summer semester. Here is all the things that you can take advantage of this summer. We're giving away free baseball tickets right now, so that's in our welcome email. Like, hey, don't forget to visit Student Life. You can get some free baseball tickets because we have the Greensboro Grasshoppers and the High Point Rockers. So we can go to one or the other. And they're both within Guilford County. So that's super awesome. I think that we also send one out for the census date. So, hey, don't forget it's census. And we explain what census is. So they're not just having to use our lingo, so that they know what it is, so they're not getting dropped from their classes. And kind of a check-in that, hey, we're still here for you. Is there anything that you need? You can reach out to all of these services if you need help. Come midterms, we send something out for tutoring. We have a full service tutoring center online and in person here. So do you need tutoring? Here, you can come to tutoring. So reaching out to the students, meeting them where they're at, and just letting them know that we're here for whatever it is that they need. And if we don't have a solution, we'll help them find one.
That's awesome. I love all of these. How do you know it's working, Orna?
Because our students are coming back.
And
I mean, that's the long and short of it is we're retaining our students, and students are coming back for multiple degrees, stacking credentials. And this is a place that they feel that they belong. So that's how we know it's working.
I was just going to say, I feel like you totally just lobbed that softball.
Yeah, I really did.
Just crush it right out of the park. I loved it.
So one thing that we did do this year they've never done before is I actually sent out graduation comms through Element. So like, hey, don't forget, they got a series of 4 communications starting in it's the end of March, reminding them that they needed to hurry up and apply because the application date was coming up. And then, hey, there's grad fair. And then we actually created private events in Element for them to RSVP for their graduation ceremony. So we knew how many students to expect to walk, and we actually weren't that far off. Students were actually replying and letting us know, hey, I'm coming. I'm going to walk at graduation. And because we have 2 separate ceremonies, one in the morning for some degrees and then one in the afternoon. And I mean, it was super successful. So, I mean, even things like that, it can be used for. It's not just your average like admissions and retention thing or admissions and recruiting thing. There's so many other things we can do with it.
That's awesome. I think one of the things we had talked about too were your open rates, right? And how successful these campaigns have been. So not only are students, they're reading them because they're remaining at Guilford Tech and, you are retaining them, but they're doing really well.
Yeah. Our average open rate is probably about 33 to 35%, depending on, we also send our payment reminders out through Element. So we send an email and a text when it's a payment reminder. And that has definitely shown market improvement in getting students to pay.
That's awesome. And, whenever you think about like what you're doing with the communications with current students and retention emphasis, how much of that with those tools, like even whenever you talk about the updates with FAFSA and campus events, how much of that has been really bolstered and elevated with personalization? And how do you guys approach personalization with those messages?
Every single email is personalized. The subject line is personalized, and the greeting is personalized in every single email. It does not go out without a personalization on it. So, it takes 2 seconds to add. It's, an invaluable tool to use. And I think that, I open more emails that are personalized to me than ones that aren't, because I feel like I've probably given them my information. So it's probably somebody I want to hear from.
Yeah, for sure. Personalization is a big one. Even putting personalization in like subject lines and preview text, like those extra, not time consuming steps, they matter. And Daniela could tell you more than anyone. She's got a much bigger marketing background than I have. And I've learned a ton from her, but even at Engage last year, she was talking about the impact that things like that personalization, your subject lines, your preview text, and what that has as an impact on your open rates. It makes a huge difference.
It does. I agree.
It makes a huge difference, and something, like you said, Orna, that takes 2 seconds but has a lasting impact. Like 2 seconds to add that token or collect that data, ask that question about that student to make it so that you can personalize those communications, and it pays off. It sounds like it's paying off for GTCC anyway.
Dividends. Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic. I think one of the questions we get a lot when it comes to the retention conversation is data. So can you talk a little bit about what data you're bringing in? So like the payments reminder, for example, walk us through that process. Because a lot of times partners ask, well, what's the difference between what we're keeping in our SIS or our CRM? And what's the benefit of making those systems talk to each other so that you can do this in a timely, personalized way?
So typically our cashier's office will send us a list of students that owe a payment, and we'll send out the comms to them. We have found that students just don't read as many emails as they do check their phones and check their texts. So really, that's one of the reasons why we started doing this, was that we wanted to use the text feature to reach out to students to remind them that they did have a payment due. It's easy to forget. So we started noticing that there was a higher payment rate, because when we would go to deregister students for non-payment, we could definitely see a marked difference between the two. What we're really just bringing to the table with this data information is the difference between how many payment reminders versus deregistration notices we're sending out, and the open rates, and actually the click-through rate. Because some students click through just to see, maybe there's a way I can make a payment reminder, or maybe I can make a payment arrangement. So let me go ahead and click that and see if I can make a payment change or something like that. We started noticing those things. So we started adding additional information to the email that, hey, if you need to make a payment arrangement, this is who you should talk to. If you need to have financial aid, this is who you should talk to. If you just want to go ahead and pay, go ahead and click here. If you have questions that are not addressed by any of these things, click here, fill out this form, and we'll help you. So we noticed kind of that sort of thing, and where students are clicking, so that we know how to best reach the students and help them pay for what they need.
This is huge, because I think sometimes our partners get hung up on the how, and it can be something as simple as getting a list from your campus department, putting it in to the system, and sending out an email. That principle is the same, no matter where you are, but using something like Element to do what you're talking about, right? To list those extra resources or to automate that. It helps those students who are struggling, who don't know, who are first generation, have never had to make those payments before. Like that stuff matters. Absolutely.
But the nice thing is too, is everything is all in this one place. So we're not oversending. And if students are bombarded with too much stuff, again, there starts the unsubscribes. And we want them to see this stuff. Like our career services department, when we have job fairs, we'll send out communications for them. We have job openings on campus, we'll send out a communication for that. But if one department's kind of controlling all of the communications as well, we're not bombarding the students with information or repetitive information. So they're not unsubscribing, they're reading, they're opening, they're clicking, and hopefully in the long run being more successful by having this information.
Yeah. And something else triggered in my mind that is just a large impact, and that's being able to simply get a list, like you said, you described, send out those comms, but also you're driving them to different places. And now you have a system and a tool that allows you to track that activity. And so now, where did they go most? Where can you see where they went? What did they go to? What tracked the most? And now that data, those analytics that you're tracking, because it's all in one place, you can see it all, now helps you make the decision the next time you have to go and approach this situation to see how it worked.
Yeah, not even knowing what to add, but also what to take away.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so important.
Because sometimes if a student's just not using the information, or on a whole, a student's not using that information, we can just edit that and add something that they are going to use.
Right.
Yep. So important. All right. So Orna, tell us, you're in pretty good shape. What are you looking forward to? What's the plan for this next year post-Engage?
So this next year post-Engage is getting our applications up and running on a couple of different fronts. We want to start pulling in the CFNC applications, but we also have a limited entry program here for several different things: radiography, physical therapy. All those programs are competitive entry. And I'm actually building out applications right now for all of those, with acceptance forms and landing pages, so that it's all kind of just this one nice little package wrapped in a bow. I'm also really excited about the AI assistants.
Ooh.
Absurdly excited about those.
So wait, I have to ask, Orna, you're going to be at Engage, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we actually had our town hall company meeting today, and they went over, and I'm not spoiling anything. So if you're listening to this, don't worry, I'm not spoiling anything. but
This is going to come out post Element anyway.
Exactly.
Oh,
It is.
that's true.
It's going to
It
come out
is, isn't
post
it?
Engage. So
No, I got to keep it a surprise for you, Orna. Don't worry. I have to keep it a surprise for you. It's
okay, I
going to
hate
be-
surprises.
You're going to love this surprise. So
Okay.
AI Assistance is just scratching the surface of the things that we're going to release at Engage. And I think you're going to be really excited.
I'm
really
super excited.
Yeah.
I'm super
It's
excited.
going to be so cool.
I don't want to take us back from the excitement, but I do think this is an important question. Orna, tell people what you mean by the CFNC application, because we've got a lot of partners who do a similar model to this. And so I want them to know what this is and how this works.
So North Carolina has 58 community colleges. So this is the blanket application that is used for all of the community colleges, and it's held kind of in one system. And then we can actually import those into Element and use that. Since we are a community college, it is open enrollment. Everybody's accepted. But what we're really excited about is automating those acceptance communications and kind of getting students on that track of, okay, you've done all of this. Now they can actually just move into the next workflow for those retention emails.
Exactly. Orna, think about the information you're collecting on that CFNC application and how that's going to feed into that full life cycle. We knew when they applied, they were first gen, or we knew they were food insecure. And now you can build your campaigns with that information from.
Yes, because those questions, not in those words exactly, but are on the CFNC application. So we can see if we have a student who may be experiencing housing insecurity at the time, we can push them towards the right services here on campus. If we have a student who's first gen, they may need a little extra hand-holding in the advising department. So we can push them towards their student success coach for some additional hand-holding there.
And you can build a student success AI assistant to be that front line so that that coach has the information they need to really be prepared to help that student.
That is what we are hoping for, especially on the financial aid side. We're really looking forward to using that. I mean, most of our students here do get some form of financial aid.
And that's a confusing one. So load up your AI assistant with that financial aid information because you want that to get that right. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to be the one answering the financial aid questions.
Me either, honestly.
Right. No, not today anymore. I was a financial aid director in a previous life. So back then it wasn't the most fun thing to do. These days it is like the least fun job to have right now with everything going on with the FAFSA. So yeah, these assistants are absolutely changing how financial aid is going to be talked about. Multiple things, right? But financial aid specifically, it's huge.
This has been great. This is a short and sweet episode, but I think we covered a lot.
We did, but you know what we didn't cover yet? We kind of grazed it. We kind of grazed it a little bit. All right. We've got to ask this question. It's in your element. It's every episode we have to ask it. So tell us, Orna, as cheesy as this sounds when we say it, I love it. When are you in your element on a day-to-day basis with what you're doing?
When I'm interacting with our current students and our future students, that I came from a student-facing background, so anything that the bot can't answer, I'm actually the one who answers it right now until we get all of our departments on board. So I love being able to share ideas and information with our students. I love the opportunity to engage with them and kind of see where they are, what they're thinking, what they're doing, what they're trying to accomplish, and how we can help them.
So what you're really trying to say is we should rename the bot at GTCC Orna. That's the
absolutely
AI
not.
No, oh.
She's like, no, absolutely
not.
Not at all. What is the bot's name? No, I think we did talk about this.
Ours is Atlas. Because we are the Titans.
Good.
So ours
like
is
that.
Atlas.
That's great.
So
That's
there's going to be when the assistants roll out, there's going to be a shift there, right? You're going to have to start naming these different assistants for their roles. So that'll be a fun process. I always think about that.
So we can have like Persephone and...
I was going to say, keep the theme going.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
That's so great. Orna, thank you so much. Great. This has been an awesome episode. We look forward to seeing you at Engage and to showing off the AI assistants and then meeting afterwards to talk about how we can help you all at GTCC use them. Yeah,
Awesome.
if I can get the acronym correct. Thanks so much, Orna.
Thank you guys. Have a good afternoon.
In Your Element is part of the Enrollify podcast network. If you like this podcast, chances are you'll like other Enrollify shows too.
Our podcast network is growing by the month, and we've got a plethora of marketing, enrollment, and higher ed technology shows that are jam-packed with stories, ideas, and frameworks, all designed to empower you to be a better higher ed professional.
Our shows help higher ed marketers and enrollment professionals find their next big idea and feature a selection of the industry's best as your hosts. Learn from Mallory Wilsey, Artis Kadu, Maya Demishkovich, and so many other of your favorite leaders in higher ed.
Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the leading AI-powered, all-in-one student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful, personalized, and engaging interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com.